We welcome into the show now the head coach from Park Hills Central, Corey Schweiss. Coach Schweiss, thanks for joining us.
Hey, no problem. Thanks a lot.
Coach, an incredible game last night, going to double overtime with Fredericktown. Tell us a little bit about the game, and we'll talk also about maybe those overtime.
I'll tell you, Fredericktown's a really improved football team. Coach Williams got there last year. He did his second year there, and they've made a lot of improvements over the last 2 years. So kudos to those guys down there. They played a pretty good game. We had to battle the whole night, and our kids showed some resiliency at the end, and we were able to pull out the win.
Tell us about the winning touchdown, and what was the feeling on the sideline, obviously, with that score.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird game. It was back and forth the whole game. No team got up by more than one score. Went into overtime, tied 28-28. Actually, they had a chance in regulation and tried a 47-yard field goal with just a little bit of time left and missed it. So that got us into overtime, and we won the toss. We deferred. They scored first, and they actually missed their extra point. So they were only up 6. So we had a chance. We went down, we scored, punched it in, and had a chance. We really don't have a kicking game, so we had to go for 2 anyway, but got stopped on our 2-point conversion. So that's what forced it to go into double overtime. We got the ball to start the second overtime. We were able to convert on that one, and then we ended up putting the 2-point conversion in to go up 8. They come out on offense on their first play. They actually score a touchdown, but they got called back on a hold. And on the very next snap, Jackson Jones was able to pick off the ball and solidify the win. But I have to say, we put the ball in Jackson Jones's hands last night. He had 30 carries for us, a lot of that coming in overtime to get those 2 touchdowns. So he ended the game with 4 touchdowns, over 200 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns on the ground. And also threw for almost 200 yards and had 2 more passing touchdowns. So he had a heck of a game for us. And that's just what he did on offense. Like I said, he had the interception that sealed it on defense, but he also we didn't stat the game yet defensively, but I'm sure he had every bit of 20 tackles on defense. He was all over the place.
Wow, that's tremendous. Outside of getting a win, did you guys come out of the game relatively healthy?
Well, no, not necessarily. We were a little banged up. I think Colin Hulsey may have broken a bone in his foot. Jason Threckel had a knee injury. We were already short an offensive lineman due to a team rule violation. So we were really shorthanded, but there's really no excuses because you still got to give Fredericktown a lot of credit. They, like I said, they did a tremendous job. Our quarterback, heck of a player. Have a couple linemen that are really, really good, and had a couple guys that we really had trouble with in the passing game. Had trouble defending. So they did a lot of really good things, and like I said, I always try to give credit where credit is due, and I really thought Fredericktown played a really good game.
Coach, next week you're at St. Dominic. What do you know about them?
Well, watch St. Dominic play tonight against Borgia. They're a pretty good football team. Obviously, a Class 6 private school up from St. Louis, and they are, they're big up front. They got one undersized lineman playing center, but other than that, they're really big up front. Quarterback is, I think he's committed to play Miami, Ohio. So really good quarterback, some really good skilled receivers and running backs. So offensively, they got everything going for them. Defensively, it'll be the best defensive front that we've seen this year. So our offensive line will have their hands full, especially with a couple guys out. So it's going to be a challenge for us. It's definitely going to be one of those games where we're probably going to see exactly where we are with the 2024 Rebels because right now we still have a lot of growing pains. We're making a lot of mistakes, and St. Dominic's way too good of a team. They'll exploit those things if we continue to do those things next week.
Hey, Coach, at what point do you kind of start looking at the district standings? I mean, tonight was a big game because it was a district opponent in Fredericktown. At what point do you kind of start looking at those and trying to put numbers, just run numbers through your head, thinking, we need to get at least one home game?
Yeah, I really don't ever look at that, just because we play most of our district opponents during the season, especially the ones that are usually the ones that we're fighting for those spots. So, St. John, Potosi are in our conference. Dexter we have on our schedule, and those, looking at it, and then Fredericktown, of course. But you looking at it, those are probably the top 3 or 4 teams other than us that are in the district. So most of the time, the points don't really matter. It's really going to come down to who beats who head to head a lot of times. So I mean, you look at it just to see, but at the end of the day, most of the time, those things don't mean anything.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, I greatly appreciate on a night off, so to speak, for you, although you went out and scouted a game, but being generous with your time and coming on the Missouri Sports Network and telling us about Central Park Hills.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate all the coverage we get from all over the place. So the fact that you guys, do that from way over there, it's kind of nice.
Oh, thank you, Coach. And hey, have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, bud. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach.